Yeah. All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of One Mic, where I watch shit so you don't have to. And today I'm here to talk about the entire first season of the new Netflix anime series Yasuke. So I want to start by saying this is my first foray into anime. So if you're an anime expert or you're somebody who is like heavy into the shit, please be forgiving of me, because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this stuff. I just decided, it's got Lakeith Stanfield. I'm a big fan of his. It looked really cool in the previews. Got a black samurai. I'm like, I think this is a good entry point for me. Let me dip my toe into the anime world with this one. And fuck, man, did I make a big mistake? Mistake, man. This shit was not good to me. It had its moments. I really like the animation style. I think it looks real fucking cool. I like a lot of the action sequences that happen, as far as like how they look visually. There's some pretty cool violence. There's a part where Yasuke like splits a guy like long ways. That was pretty cool. But by and large, I didn't find this to be very entertaining. I found it to be actually pretty weird. I don't know if anime is always like this, but first I'll just kind of run down the issues that I had throughout the course of watching this show. The first and most important, the primary issue that I had with this show, it was fucking boring, man. Like, this was not entertaining in the least. For a show that only had, I think it was 6 episodes at about 30 minutes a piece. So you're looking at 3 hours here. For something that was a total of 3 hours, it was a slog to get through, man. Like, put in comparison, I recently watched Michael Shea's new sketch comedy show, which was 6 20-minute episodes, so about 2 hours. I watched that in essentially one sitting. I had to stop, I think, maybe like midway through, and then I picked it back up later. So it wasn't one sitting, but it was one day. This, on the other hand, I probably stopped and started it about 4 times. And this was not because things came up. It was just kind of like, man, this is fucking boring. And I was actually about to not even watch it, not even finish watching it, and not even review it on this channel. But I really wanted to really give this anime thing a try. So, because, a lot of my very, very close friends, my brothers, are like heavy into anime. Even my son is into anime. And it's something that's just never been something that I've really been able to get into. So I figured, this would be a good jumping off point. But man, this was fucking boring, for one. For two, it's really weird. And I don't know if anime is always like this, and maybe it is. And this might be a point that anime may just not be for me. But like, these characters have like, they're all weird. Like, so there's no basis in reality here. And from what I hear, Yasuke is a real person. Like, this is a real samurai, and all of these names are real people that existed. But this show is not even remotely close to being based in any kind of reality. Like, you got a massive woman who can like transform into animals. I'm like, I thought I was getting into something that was going to be realistic. I wasn't expecting transformations. I was expecting giant talking robots. I wasn't expecting people having like an infinite supply of power and powers that are completely inexplicable. Like, hey, I'm gonna blast you with this energy of whatever the fuck this is. Like, it's there's so many different things happening. I'm like, okay, so this is just like, this how I would, okay, watching it, like, this is just happening now. Okay, I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know where it's going. I don't know why this is happening, but this is just happening now. And as the show progresses, it gets farther and farther away from anything that even resembles making sense. Like, I remember the last episode, I was just kind of checked out at this point. Like, the last episode, it goes into like this metaphysical place, and like there's all sorts of powers being used on. I'm just like, this makes no sense at all. I'm like, this just, I'm checked out. Like, this is dumb. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And yeah, I didn't find any entertainment value here. It was really weird. Like, the very beginning, the very opening scene, there's like a war going on in Japan, and there's these two sides, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm about to see, an actual, a battle. And like some character like engulfs himself in like this weird blue cube of some sort of energy. Because again, like that's what bothers me the most. I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be. Like, what are your powers? What are you doing? What is this like? What is this force field? Is it impenetrable? I don't know what the fuck any of this is. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna put a blue box around me now. Okay. Then he like fires a blue blast at whoever it is that they're fighting. And then some giant robots come with swords and chop off the top of a building. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm like, so immediately from the opening scene, I'm like, I don't know about this shit. But, you know, I stuck with it. It kind of became a little bit more grounded after that when it got into what Yasuke was doing present day, at least present day within the context of the show. And, you know, it started to make a little bit more sense. And then, like, the little things that were kind of weird, I was kind of able to just write off because at this point I've already accepted the fact that this is not going to be any kind of a realistic kind of show, and that was fine. But then it got really boring, and it had a sequence where it's like, you know, they're taking this little girl to see this doctor because she's sick. They come across some enemies, they defeat them, and they just go right back to where they started. And I'm like, man, this show is not. I'm like, I feel like you just got to keep moving forward after that, and you know, maybe the plot can progress in a way where you figure something out, whatever. But like going back to square one, like it was really weird. I'm like, so we just starting over? We're just starting over right now? And I don't know, man. It was just a really weird and tough show to get through. And I don't know if this is customary in anime. If you're watching this and you're a big anime fan, feel free to drop some suggestions in the comments for things that you thought or that you feel are really good. I do still plan on giving Attack on Titan a try. I've heard good things about that. I do plan on giving like Death Note a try. I've heard great things about that for historically. So there's still things that I plan on trying, but I don't know. I don't know how much I can really stomach something that's just like so far detached from reality and so far detached from making any kind of sense. Because I don't care if you're a samurai and it's like, oh shit, he has powers too. Like I watch shit with people that people have powers in all the time. You know, comic book stuff, they all got powers. But the powers are defined. They have an origin story. You know what they can do, you know what they can't do, and it makes sense within the context of that story. Whereas this, it's just like people just doing shit. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know why they can do this. I don't know I don't even know what they are actually doing. So it's a little weird, but you know, if there's some anime that's a little bit more grounded or a little bit more exciting, or you know, whatever you can recommend, I'm still willing to watch. But this one was so strange to me. And before I wrap this up, there are a couple of things that were conflicting for me in style, like the theme music, for instance. The theme music itself sounds like a dope song, right? But the theme music, when matched with the visuals of the intro and with the style of the show, it doesn't really fit. Like the theme song almost sounds like some like lovemaking music. Like this doesn't sound like something for Japanese fucking samurais killing each other. Like I feel like you get something a little bit more aggressive and not something that you turn on before you're about to have sex with your wife. Like it's just it was a weird kind of mixture of the music and the visuals. And then they interject comedy kind of clumsily, I think. There's like a robot character who's like a consistent character that appears in the show. A giant, massive robot that kind of looks like what's that one movie with the little boy and a robot? I know that's not very descriptive, but some giant fucking robot, right? And the robot is supposed to be coming off as very humanistic, but like he plays like as comic relief at times. And when you have a show that's such a slog and it's so boring and it doesn't really make sense, and it's just kind of like, I'm kind of forcing myself to get through this, comedy's never gonna land. It's never gonna land. Like I think maybe once I might have chuckled at something this robot said, but by and large, I'm still not even able to get over the fact that there's a fucking robot in this show that's talking and and having fights and all this kind of shit. So yeah, it's a little bit too detached from reality for me. It wasn't interesting and it didn't make sense. So pretty much no across the board on this one for me. But if you're somebody who's a big fan of this show, let me know why. Let me know what you like about it. And most importantly, what I know from you guys, is this reflective of what anime is generally like? Because if it is, I don't know why the fuck people like this shit. But if it's not, hey, feel free to drop in the comments some suggestions on what you think I should watch, and I might check them out. Like I said, if you already, if you were gonna say, hey, check out Death Note, or you're gonna say, hey, check out Attack on Titan, already on the list, pal. I'm gonna check those out. So, thumbs down on this one for me, but I'm still willing to give it a shot. So if you have some suggestions, feel free, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.